guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're bringing attention to a magic class that's been forgotten by most players, but still has some serious hidden potential. This character might not be topping the meta charts, but if you're into unique playstyles, nostalgic builds, or just love proving people wrong, you're gonna want to stick around. Let's dust off the spellbook and dive right in. But before we get into it, why is Sara considered a forgotten hero? Despite having a unique skill set and surprisingly high DPS when built right, she's rarely seen these days. What good is a DPS if it can't deal damage? That's the sad reality for Sara. Once a promising magic class, now a forgotten relic buried by the meta. In this next part of the video, we're going to take a closer look at Sara's overall performance as a magic DPS, specifically highlighting where she still manages to shine, and where she struggles to keep up with the current meta. From her unique skill set to the limitations that have pushed her into off-meta status, we'll break down both her strengths and her weaknesses, so you can decide whether she's worth investing in. Despite having so many advantages, she's not a popular pick in the PvE meta simply because most players don't know how to properly build a magic class, and parties only seem interested in boosting Ronin. Just a heads up, I haven't utilized any size modifiers yet. Since the mob floors consist of mixed monster sizes, it's more efficient to focus on optimizing size modifiers specifically for MVP battles. As you can see, Sara is weak against water monsters, but no need to worry, there are no water element MVPs on Tower 5. This is the setup I used for that particular run. It worked out quite well given the challenges, and should give you a good starting point if you're planning to try something similar. Maple by Flame can be cast from up to 7 meters away, which makes the Transmission Arcane rune a perfect match for enhancing this skill. Here we have Saren, a Holy Element MVP. While Fire normally deals only 75% damage to holy targets, there's no need to worry. Our Lord of Vayne Relic and CM's Fire Field will boost our elemental coefficient by 30%, making up for the disadvantage. I'm not exactly sure what level his Holy Element armor is, but you get the idea. Let's discuss more about the build, skills, and runes. For size modifiers, I'm using 2 soul cages, one with a medium size attribute and the other with a large size attribute. Medium-sized damage is a bit harder to come by, especially since many of the cards that offer it are BCC exclusive. On the other hand, large-size damage is much easier to stack. For weapon cards, a good option is to go with double Minorous Star. This rune directly boosts Maple by Flame damage by what percentage you have. Mine is on the low side, and I'm still considering whether to roll for a better value. The other runes won't affect our DPS much. My build is centered around maximizing Maple by Flame damage. While Sara does have other offensive skills, most of them come with long cooldowns and delays. Maple by Flame is the only one that's truly spammable. I also use the Fire Talisman on myself, which grants a 70% boost to fire damage and a 35% increase to skill damage. Wish Chant provides additional effects, though they're more relevant in PvP, so we can skip the details here. Hiding gives Sara a 50% damage bonus against enemies that aren't hidden, and Resonance adds some damage over time, which is helpful in extended fights like those in the Constellation Tower. Finally, there's a passive that provides Sara with size modifiers. Unfortunately, it's been nerfed compared to what Soulbinders have. Here are the rest of Sara's stats. Take note, this is an initial build and not very optimized, but it already works well. I wonder how much she can do after I build it properly. Why unlimited? because Sara's exclusive weapon is focused on PvP. My build is focused on Maple by Flame Damage, which greatly benefits from AoE damage modifiers, making Unlimited the perfect weapon of choice. Unlimited also gives some skill damage and fire damage to further boost our DPS. For headgears, I switch between Cat Diadem, Music of Soul, and God of Love's Name, depending on which mobs or MVPs I fight. Here is another MVP floor run with Corruption Root and Dark Snake Lord. The equipment breaking is so annoying. I did a few test runs and made some adjustments to my build. If I plan to keep playing Sara, I'll definitely need a better Maple by Flame rune. That said, since there haven't been any announcements about new magic classes coming to ROM, I've got more time to focus on optimizing Sara and the other magic jobs I use. Currently, this is my third magic class that can DPS at Constellation Tower. I already have the fourth magic job ready. Can you guess which hero it is? I didn't bother to include White Star airship runs, as this Sara completely destroys that. Maybe another video. If you like this video and would like to see future content, then hit subscribe. It means a lot to me.